Hey there, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more Kingdoms Reborn in New Jokyo. Our population skyrocketed in the last video, and as you can tell from a lot of very light blue roofs everywhere, we are now getting level 7 houses everywhere, because I finally got my luxuries under control. Well, mostly. I mean, we're still not doing phenomenally on a lot of T2 luxuries, but we're starting to pick it up. We got a lot of chocolate to go around. There's a lot of other things I could be doing with more T1s and so on. I'm a little bit concerned about our food. You know, it looks like price is starting to go down a little bit, and also the cost of all forms of food appears to be going up dramatically. I'm not sure why that is, by the way. Why do the developers decide that if you buy one type of food and it becomes really expensive, all types of food must also begin getting expensive? I don't know. I'm just saying, I feel like I should be able to crash the market in different ways. The point being, though, at least for the moment, we have a pretty massive amount of food that we are able to sustain a pretty large population with, and we can do a lot of industry. Now, the one thing I'm scared about is even though I should be able to start selling a lot of excess stuff and have so much money we don't even need to produce a lot of our food, all it takes is one screw-up, 1 month, where I'm not really paying attention, we start plummeting in food, and we can quickly find ourselves in the worst death spiral of all time. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this, and yeah, it does mean a lot of my labor is going to continue going to things like producing my own food when maybe I don't need to do that. But I'm scared, okay? We are definitely overproducing some things, right? Stuff that we can farm, we make an unbelievable amount of it. I got more raw cocoa and raw cotton than I have a clue what to do with. We might want to consider moving on to something like the cotton mill, right? Go ahead and get a cotton mill, start making cotton fabric and something like that. Or, you know, eventually start working toward getting ourselves those fancy clothes with the high fashion, right? A new work mode for the tailor. Fashionable cloth, another T3 luxury. I mean, ultimately what you want to do is get up to level 8 houses. In order to make that work, not only do we have to have 3 types of T1s and 3 types of T2, you need to have 3 types of T3. We do need to work toward electronic gadgets, all right? Nintendo Switches for everyone. This is, after all, the Shogunate. If I want to go for a much easier T3, I think the toilet paper is probably a good option, though. Honestly, these are like really not hard to produce. You just need a stupid amount of wood, right, at a paper mill, and you just make so much toilet paper, and everyone's like, this is the best thing ever invented! And we're like, yes, we all agree with this, and you make a ton of money because we're now a capitalist economy that makes a stupid amount of income. So I don't know, if we want to go for the easy route, that is always going to be an option. Speaking of wood, though, we are not doing phenomenally well on things like wood. Might be worth trying to get at least a couple more of these foresters up and a-running. Of course, the alternative is, you know, forget that, just buy the dang wood. Just buy it. Buy all of it. Because, like, why make your own raw goods, right? I mean, yeah. Understood. Fair enough. We really shouldn't be producing wood and using labor on that. We should be making something better. So, okay, fair enough. Hang on, I'm sorry. I just talked myself out of it. We'll cancel that forester. Good lord. You can see just how good last video was, by the way. Population goes down, yet my revenue doubled. Almost exactly, actually. And my science almost doubled. Oh, we love the T7 houses. It's great. This is going to get even better in just a minute, though. So we're now buying concrete from the market, because we can do things like that. Which means we can now upgrade a lot of things to the industrial age, get that work speed up another 5%, you know, and also, of course, get that oh-so-important aesthetic upgrade. Very important to do things like that. Don't ask questions. But that extra 5% work speed is nothing to be sniffed at, because basically it now means we're going to be able to start producing even faster. And the faster we produce goods is, I mean, you know, it's just good. I mean, that seems self-explanatory. I don't even know why I had to say that. And yet there we are. Also, you know, things that have been slowing me down quite a lot, like some of these sushi bars and stuff wouldn't be bad. Speaking of sushi bars, we have upgrade points, and now we have a lot of level 5 or higher houses in the city, which means I can get a 30% boost to my sushi production by simply using all my upgrade points. I still do not really like upgrade points as a system, all right? I understand why it was a little bit too easy to place something down and then just, like, immediately upgrade it, because, I mean, once you get to the level of wealth I have now, who even cares anymore, right? I get it. I do understand that, but tying into your population, it just is such an arbitrary gate sometimes. I don't know, but I'm also wary that I have a tendency, apparently, to complain in this game a little bit, so ignore me. Hey, let's go ahead and spend a lot of money and just boost myself up another 6%, plus some more attractiveness. There we go. Did I just spend a lot of money? Yeah, I just spent a lot of money. Do I care? No, not at all. Let's go ahead and start researching that cotton mill, since I said I was going to do that. I mean, we're making way more cotton than I have any idea what to do with. You know, as much as I was saying food is a bit scary, it is still holding pretty steady overall. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm a little bit worried about our medicine. Looks like we're producing enough. I'm seeing people die of sickness occasionally, though, which makes me think that even if we aren't producing enough, somehow people are not able to get to the healthcare they need before they die, which is a little bit disheartening, but I mean, oh well, should have had insurance. That's a slightly dark joke, in a way. It's also sort of self-reflective, and I apologize. Apparently, by the way, people idolize me as a god. I saw that in the top left very briefly. You can't tell me I didn't. Happiness is at 94%. This does mean, by the way, that the motivation books are now officially better than the production books, which is why the long-term investment has worked out pretty nicely. So I am happy about that. The big thing that's hitting me right now is just people aren't generally happy with their jobs because, I mean, the only way they will be is if I cut down on their working hours and stuff and just pay them more than they're worth, which I'm not going to do. This is a capitalist economy, after all. Oh, another thing we should definitely be doing, we should be going to all of my... Where are they? All of my trading companies and boosting these up. 240 quantity per round, boost that up by another 50% up to 360 for a small amount of concrete. I mean, now we're going to be able to start trading huge volumes of materials, and I don't ever want to find myself accidentally getting throttled, unable to buy things I need because I was exporting too many awesome things. Since I am now making tons and tons of money, I suppose one thing we could consider is, like, maybe setting up some colonies and stuff like that, you know? Get some resource outposts. Yeah, they have a high upkeep, but I mean, it's a way of getting some materials that maybe I would not otherwise have been able to get for myself. So, I don't know, what if I want to get some coffee, or if I want to get myself some gold ore, or something along those lines? Are there precious resources I could really use? I mean, yeah, sure, there's like, yeah, this gold ore right here is great. Let's go ahead and get that. All I have to do is just place this like so, anywhere in the area, and we're now going to start getting ourselves some extra goodies. So now we're going to start making a little bit of gold. We could, what else? Go for gems? Oh, look at this. The AI actually is spread around quite a bit as well. What do you know? Don't really care about what they're doing, though. They're simply not that important. There's some gems. We can go ahead and just grab some of these. It's not going to be worth an absolute ton, right? But, if I can take the gold and the gems, start crafting a bit of jewelry, you know, I could either have some extra luxuries that I sell and make a lot of money out of it, or I could just straight out sell it and make a lot of money out of it. Is the stuff going to pay for itself? I think it depends a lot on the resource that you're going to get. I do have no need, obviously, of getting myself some tulips. I have no need of getting myself some cannabis. But the high-level stuff, maybe. Actually, just like out of principle, I just want to check something. 31 gems per round over there, and 44 gold per round over there. So, when you factor in costs, 44 times 14... Okay, so that does not quite pay for its upkeep, actually. And then, what was it, 35 times 20? So that does. The gems actually slightly pay for their upkeep if we just sold this outright. The gold ore does not. That's fine, though. I mean, it's to be expected, right? You want to combine these two and process them and create more out of it than you put into the system. That's how this game works. So it does end up being worthwhile. Absolutely. 100% it ends up paying for itself if you set up some very basic crafting. Doesn't even have to be a big part of your economy. Let's go ahead and get ourselves those cotton mills. I had to buy a lot of steel in order to make that one work. I'd like to place down a warehouse right next door if I can, so we'll do that there. Of course, I'm using quick build now because I am a lazy. And at the cotton mill, we will start taking all that cotton and start creating cotton fabric. Now, question, if I swap this out here from cotton to regular cotton fabric, 40 becomes 109. Right, and how much cotton makes this? Okay, so if we can make this efficient enough, this actually means that I get much more clothing per batch. Which means we'll start just producing tons of stuff. I like this idea. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. And these take upgrade points. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Right, well, I don't really care even that much about the inputs there, but for the sake of it, we'll go ahead and get these upgraded. What I want to see is what's going to happen now that we have this high fashion figured out. Okay. So is there any other upgrade I want to get? Honestly, no. For pretty much the rest of the game, let's go ahead and start working on that paper mill, I think. So over at our tailor, we can go for fashionable clothes. This takes dyed fabric. Okay, so if we want to do that at the cotton mill, we can. We would need to start buying some dyes or produce it ourselves. Do we even have the ability to produce dyes? I kind of assume we can if we get ourselves the right cultivator. Let's just double check, though. There it is. So I'm okay with doing some of this myself. I don't expect that we're going to make a ton of dyes myself, but at least some wouldn't be a bad plan. We could do that like right over here, for example, and just start growing out a handful and just do that right next to our cotton and deliver it to the exact same spot. There we go. Plenty of fertility in this area, and once this is done, come next autumn, we should have enough to begin the transition. What I'll probably do is... Gosh dang these autosaves. They always like doing this when I'm talking. What we probably will do is leave most of these still producing regular clothes, but translate like 2 or 3 of them to doing the fashionable clothing option. I actually might want to change this also to do... Yeah, we're already doing cotton fabric. What I probably want to do is change most of these to cotton fabric, right? Because that is significantly more efficient. And then we'll leave a couple on raw cotton just in case, but let's see how we do. I probably do want to turn this into nothing but fabric. It just goes such a long way. One batch makes 109 clothes. That's great. How's population looking? Good lord, this skyrocketed. Starting to dip down a little bit right now, which is somewhat concerning, but, yeah. Wow. How did I not even notice in the course of the last few years our population really had jumped that much? I mean, I knew it went up, but I guess I didn't really appreciate it. Clockmakers could be kind of fun. Where do I even make my special electronic stuff? There it is. So we need to get to the electronics factory. All right, let's go ahead and start learning about electricity then. That's another way of boosting up your economy quite substantially if you have tons and tons of coal to spare. I don't really. We could buy our way down to some ores and stuff over here, and that's a thing, but I'm kind of thinking about how much labor it's going to take in order to actually harvest all this coal, and I'm wondering, is that even really worth it? What we could do, if we really want to, is maybe just make our own coal via charcoal instead, and to be honest, I think that's going to end up being a more efficient method of generating what I'm looking for. Albeit it is going to take a lot of lumber to do so, but, I mean, lumber's relatively cheap, right? We'll just buy a lot. And over here, you might think I want to go ahead and start roasting up some coffee, and I would be tempted to do that, but I am actually worried that we're consuming too much rice. So one thing I'm going to do instead is we're going to start growing some plums and make plum-based sake instead of only rice. That should supplement us pretty nicely. Also, plums are just unique to our faction. I feel like we gotta at least use these somewhere, right? Oh, yeah, see? They're pretty. They've got the nice little pink leaves and everything. These aren't Umaboshi plums, are they? That's the only, like, Japanese plum, like, I'm really familiar with, because it's infamous, at least on the internet. I've actually tried them, though, and to be honest, I mean, I don't know, maybe I just had a weird batch or it had been preserved in a different way. It was a little sour, but it wasn't that bad. But there are people who are like, I've had a raw Umaboshi plum and my lips nearly exploded from the puckering. I'm like, I don't know. I can't decide if that's being dramatic or if I just had the wrong thing. I was kind of looking forward to that experience, to be honest. I like sour things. Advanced Sake Brewery. We will place them over here. I also like sake. Sake is something I've had only a few times. And it's sort of an acquired taste, because it's not very similar to a lot of things that I've had before, but it is pretty good. Yeah, I don't want yuzu. I want umeshu plum sake. There we go. I also just kind of like saying the word sake. I don't know. It just sounds good. Anyway, now that we should be producing a decent amount of local coal, shall we consider placing down our first coal power plants? I think the answer is yes. Every 1 coal becomes 1 full kilowatt of electricity. Costs a little bit to get these things built up, but I'm willing to do it anyway, and we have 14 workers each. I'll turn you off for the moment. So there we go. We will definitely need to have some warehousing nearby. Intention with this thing is going to be exclusively to carry coal. Whoops, not chocolate. So we'll disallow everything except for that. And that'll be an easy store place for that. So yeah, you can't put any books in these to make them more efficient, unfortunately. What you have to do eventually is research, like, better forms of electricity generation through petroleum and oil rigs and so on. We haven't even discovered oil yet, but this would be an option. Let's go ahead and start researching that electronics factory, by the way. That is now done. Okay, excellent. And let's unlock the printing press for books or something. So there we go. We now have this. So what do you do with electricity? Honestly, it's been a while. I have to remind myself. I'm pretty sure at the individual industrial buildings, yeah, you can spend steel in order to boost up the manufacturing power of this building once again. 30% faster work speed is really good. It does require 1 kilowatt of electricity per worker, though. So 16 here, 16 here. If we did it over at a charcoal burner, it would cost me 2 kilowatts, etc. So electricity is one of those things where you need a freaking lot of it to use it everywhere. You're probably not going to find that's very economical, at least at the start. Probably better to find like a few industries you really want, like tools, you know, and just go ahead and boost the crud out of that. But the most you can get out of each one of these power plants is 50 kilowatts. So that's like 3 sake factories, and that's basically it. Still, for some buildings, it's absolutely going to end up being worth it. Could start setting ourselves up some paper industry now with a big honkin' paper mill. Yeah, we'll go ahead and place at least one of those down, maybe 2 for good measure. And we could use printing paper, or we can just go ahead and turn that wood into some toilet paper. Which means we are now about to have to just basically consume a huge amount of wood. The price of wood is going to go up in the world quite a lot, but this is a T3 luxury, so eventually it kind of pays for itself. Turns out toilet paper is very expensive. 52 gold each? Oh my gosh. The sustainability book helps quite a lot, though. That is nice. Oh, you know something I think I forgot to do? Yeah, we did forget to do this. Let's go to our town hall and upgrade to level 5. Boom, baby! 10% more industrial production for everything, and more cards are available to us. I think we're going to go ahead and grab social welfare. If this works the way I remember it, it does cost me money for every citizen. So this is going to cost a chunk. Like, we're about to spend 5,000 gold doing this. But once this has a chance to recalculate, 30% job happiness everywhere is really, really, really good. It should mean that I could now boost up hours in a few places. Maybe not. I thought it was. Everyone went from 70% happiness up to 90%. That doesn't seem right. Should have gone up to 100% if it was at 70 before, right? That was 30% more job happiness, or was it 20? It says 30. Hold on, take that out. Look at this. 70% happiness. 70%. Toss this card in. 30% more happiness. 70 plus 30 is not 90. Just saying. Devs, help. Well, either way, the extra happiness is nice. What it would mean is that I could possibly pull back on like the budget or something. So I'm not paying nearly as much upkeep in order for people to do the same rough amount of work. The thing is, it's still often worth it to me. The amount of extra stuff produced usually overcomes the budget. So I look at this and I'm kind of wondering, is social welfare actually going to be worth it for me? Is there anything else that would be better? Well, first off, we have to get an engineer's office. Not optional, grab that. Architect studio? Sure, why not? Ministry of Agriculture? Sure, why not? Anything else, though? Would make more sense. A panda. I can buy a panda. I don't really care. World Trade Office. We can manipulate the world's market. That's a thing. Nah. I actually don't think there are many other cards that I consider to be much better than what we already got with the social welfare. Even though I don't think we gain much benefit at this point from all the extra happiness, I think it's still technically worth it. Just going to go ahead and place down the engineer's office and the architect studio over here real quick. Which should mean, now, if I go to anything over here, we should see that we have an engineering office. That's another 10% efficiency on, well, everything. Yay. Now, a fun thing, after you have got electricity up and running in some places, like I did set it up over here in pottery, for example, since we have struggled to produce this resource more than most, it does boost up that work speed, as I was saying, and then you can also just go ahead and throw extra steel at the problem and keep boosting up its efficiency by another 5%. I don't remember how many times you can do that, but it's a fair number. So if you've got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of steel, yeah, you can just get huge amounts of efficiency in a few key industries. You know something I just realized? I'm looking around here. I don't think we have the ability to make jewelry. I think that is actually a technology not provided to me. Clockmakers, yes. Glass and gold, got it. But I actually don't see any way that I can use gems as the Shogunate. Interesting. Is that something that got replaced with the whole electronic gadgets thing? So what you're telling me is these are never really going to be worth it. Huh. Okay, well, rather than pay the upkeep, I guess we just go ahead and get rid of these. And no, we do not get the card back, but that's fine. That's interesting and unexpected, though. I've got 100% happiness over here, by the way. I call that pretty good. We should have, there they are, some level 8 houses over here as well. Now that we've got fashionable clothing, toilet paper, and chocolates, that's all that people need to get the fanciest possible houses. There are no more upgrades. That is it. So 7 people make me 222.2 income and 84 science. I mean, as long as I got some adjacencies and other things. And we never even had to give these poor fools any insulation. Hilarious. So what about these electronic factories and stuff? Should we just go ahead and start placing them? I think the answer is probably yeah. Let's go ahead and place down one there, and then maybe another one over here, and this is going to cost a lot of money to go ahead and just quick build. I'll just pre-buy all the resources we need, and there they are. Okay, we have electronics factories. I need gold bars and iron bars. Now, I'm not making any gold bars, but I have gold ore for days. So, if I want to get some gold smelting industries up and running over here too, that would not be a bad plan. So we'll go ahead and place down a couple of these. We're just going to take some coal and sand. All right. This is glass, not gold. Reading comprehension. It's apparently very difficult. Gold smelter. That's what I'm looking for, thank you. Okay, we've got plenty of gold ore. We should have plenty of coal. We can start producing the bars. I'm also already producing some iron bars. Not a whole lot, mind you, but some. And it's going to take a while for this to get all properly set up, so let's move on. We're up to over 1,000 population here, by the way. How are we doing as far as jobs and employment? There's still a lot we are missing. No one's working the electronics factory because we have no input, but most other things are actually looking kind of okay. Yeah, and we don't need people working at the coal power plant, so fortunately they're not wasting time over here, so that's good. Not enough people working in farms. That surprises me, but I think it has something to do with the harvesting season. So actually our population's kind of keeping up with what I'm trying to do right now, for the most part. Struggling a little with things like the plums. Ramen is running out. Really? Okay, so food has been dropping. Oh my gosh, look at that consumption. Okay, right. Yep, nope, consumption continues to grow. So that means that for all the fun I've been having with all this other stuff, it's time to take a step back and think through, how do we want to get a lot more food back over here? Or am I just going to accept that I need to buy it all? I don't know. I don't really love that idea, but we could. Honestly, I think we're going to go ahead and have to take some of these rivers and start irrigating a few more sections off over here. Turn this entire area into a new bread basket, start producing a heck of a lot more rice and other such things. But if I'm running out of pork, that surprises me. We're not making enough ramen. How are we not making enough ramen, of all things? I would understand if we were out of pork, but I should be importing plenty of it. So, somehow the goods ain't getting down over here, I guess. Where even am I anymore? I get lost in my own town now. It's changed so much. Well, I could go ahead and place down an extra ramen shop. And if we place down one more ramen shop, let's say right here, that at least gets everything up to combo level 3. So that's a thing, and we could always just start applying some electricity over here if I had to. Anyway, I think we probably should be ending up this video pretty soon because I've got one last big agenda that I want to fulfill, and I'm not going to get it done in this particular video. This one might be a bit short, but I want to build all the other wonders, right? Build 4 wonders, and you win the game. I should have just about everything researched, except for the Himeji Palace. 300,000 research, and we need 80 level 8 houses. We're actually surprisingly getting close to that, simply by virtue of the fact that I'm starting to produce so many of the tier 3 luxuries. But before I end this, I just for the heck of it want to try producing some of these electronics, just for fun. And we are now producing over here. It looks like it takes a very long time to complete a single batch, even with 20 workers applying to it. But there we go! The first batch of Nintendos are available! And these things are worth a lot, by the way. 150 gold. It might actually be the most expensive item in the game. That's hilarious. Alright, well, I mean, most people still don't know what electricity is, but go have fun with your electronical gadgets. It's a fun little novelty item. And our population is starting to dip down just a bit again, good lord. This is hilarious, though, that this actually kind of looks a little bit like the actual exponential growth of a stock market or something like that, you know? Kind of the compounding effects that go on there. I mean, not always, but like, I don't know, you see like the actual bubbles bursting and the recessions that start to occur and stuff like that, and yet somehow, over the long term, over the course of, in this case, 84 years, I'd say that's a pretty darn good market return. We're doing good as capitalists. We're doing really good. Anyway, there's a lot more that we could be doing, and I definitely need to keep an eye on this food situation. If this continues to be a problem, we are going to suffer. So next video, I think we have two simple goals. Restabilize our food. Hopefully we have enough labor to go around, but if not, we just need to make lots and lots of money, maybe by selling Nintendos. And then get those dang wonders built up, all 4 of them. That's going to be tremendously expensive to do. But if we can get all 4, plus get the victory score right here, the game ends and we officially win. I can't remember the last time that we won a game of Kingdoms Reborn instead of just like quitting once it was obvious that I was unstoppably rich, but this could be a fun challenge. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.